What is up, my peoples? This is your guy, Cly, and welcome back to that Thrifting series. Now, I've got some really good stuff to show you this week. This is going to be just one of my most recent hauls, and my cat, of course. And I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to do a main video, which you're seeing today, where I go through all of my stories and everything, but tomorrow I'm going to be posting a shortened version where I only show the haul, just the goods. So we'll see if that goes over better. Now, I will go ahead and say the band-aid on my hand will be visible. It's because I had a whoopsie while putting something in the oven the other day, and yeah, I'd just rather show the band-aid. So don't worry, I'm fine. It's just, of course, I started a vlog-style series where my hands are part of the action, and then I burned myself. Kind of like what happened right here on my other hand. So, today's going to be a mix of tech and other things. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, now, the first item I found, I actually can't show you, because it's currently in use, but I can show you the box. Cat butt in the way. Pushing cat butt with box. This is one of my favorite finds to date. Yes, I paid $40 for it, which, when it comes to the discount, it's not really that much of a discount when you compare it to the motherboard and processor for $8. Cat jumping off table. Lovely. Jumping off table onto computer case. Because, of course, I have a computer in here, right? But, yeah, this is the camera I'm using at the moment, actually. I still cannot believe I found this. It was actually, we can just bring this up, it was a return. It was returned to, I believe, Target on Christmas Eve, so somebody got it and didn't want it. Hilarious. Taken to Goodwill, and they marked it for $40. And honestly, I grabbed this the moment it hit the floor. I actually picked this up while someone else was just closing in on it. I casually grab and pull. They hadn't touched it, and I didn't yank. I'm not a yanker. I do not pull things and snatch them away from other people, but I'm thinking they saw the $40 as I went to grab it, and that's why they weren't moving that quickly and kind of just backed off. A little bit of sticker shock, but this camera retails at Target at this very moment for $240. It's 1080p, 60 frames per second, really good quality intro camera. And the only downside to it, in my book, is that it doesn't have an external mic adapter. So, while I'm already recording my audio externally, if I were to use the internal microphone, while it does sound really good, I mean, I did a test recently, it does have a slight ticking, but you're going to have that with any internal microphone. Turns out the only model that actually has an external microphone jack from Sony, or I should say the cheapest, goes for $700. So I think I'll stick with this guy. It's fine. I've got plenty of other ways to record my audio externally. In fact, let's show you one now. Alright, I'm actually using the internal microphone on the camera now. Hopefully it doesn't sound too bad, and I will be sure to get this done quickly so you don't have to deal with it for the whole time. This little guy is actually what I use to record audio on all of my thrifting videos. Let's go ahead and just... It gets some of the best response in this room. I'm still going to use the Audio-Technica for my main stuff. But this is a fun little mic. It is the Samson Go mic. There we go. Really, really nice. I love this is a full metal clip. I love how it just fits on, and sadly, actually no, I think it did come with a nut to go right here so I can actually mount it on a tripod. But yeah, it's small, compact, great for using with laptops, and actually it is a dual capsule microphone, meaning that I have it set to cardioid right now, but if I just slide the switch down, it goes to omnidirectional, which means I can just pick up whomever I'm talking with as well as myself. Really good stuff. Let's just switch that back to cardioid because I'm about to plug this guy back in. Off to the next bit. Oh, actually, not off to the next bit. I want to tell you how much I paid for it. I paid $15 because I had a coupon. It retails for about $30 to $40, so I didn't get the biggest savings, especially when compared to other things like, the Audio-Technica mic. But just like the video camera that I'm using right now, I saw it as an investment for my channel, and I was paying nowhere near retail, so I thought it was a worthy investment. Go figure. Now, on to the next thing. Alright, now those of you who have seen my Best of Tech episode, remember this guy right here. This is the Cooler Master Hyper 212 CPU cooler that I got for $7 versus the original, what was it, 30? Alright, yeah, the tag's right there. Now, I thought this was a great find, and I still think it was a great find, but I thought it was going to be a rare find. Turns out, I was wrong. I found the Hyper N520 for $5 versus the $7 that I paid for the other one. However, this one is used, unlike the other one, so I'm going to have to clean it out. It does come with both fans. I need to buy new screws for the fans, and it only has the AMD bracket, so that makes it not viable for my current computer. Which is fine, because I've actually heard better things about the 212 due to its larger fans and ultimately being a bit quieter. The good news, this goes to my girlfriend. She has a gaming PC and she's been looking to overclock, but she's only got a stock cooler. So she gets this one. She actually does have an AMD processor versus an Intel processor, so it works out. This even comes with only one of the AMD brackets, but it's the exact one she needs. So we're both happy. So I get the 212, she gets the N520. Couldn't have gone better. Now, this next set of finds comes from the same store where I got last week's mystery bag. You know how I don't remember if I told you the story about how they've got a Pentium 1 computer that they're trying to get $60 for? But they really don't understand what goes inside a computer. Case in point, I've got in-package hard drives, and the tape actually wasn't cracked on these until I decided to test them. They are 7200 RPM SATA hard drives. Now, this one is only a 320, but I paid $3 for it. Here's the 250 that I also paid $3 for. And here's an empty case for one that I paid 320 that I also paid $3 for. I've got a few computers kicking around that needed drives, and they're not my gaming rigs, so I didn't need terabytes. Even though technically I got close to a terabyte here. But those are super useful. So that's $9 well spent. Let's just slide that. Another item I found there that I really could not believe they only wanted $9 for. And as you've seen with a lot of the stuff I buy, for me to break $5, I have to deem it a worthy investment. There we go. A router. I know a lot of you find routers, but what makes this one special is it's a gigabit router. Gigabit dual band router. Even better, it has a USB 3.0 share port, which means I can take pretty much any USB 3.0 device, or 2.0 or 1.1 because it's reverse compatible, plug it into this and make it accessible to every computer on my network. And especially the 4 that I'm going to have plugged in, three plugged into it and then one switch, because I of course have a switch. My home network is growing by leaps and bounds. The 3 main computers I'm going to have plugged into it are going to have full gigabit data transfer, so transferring videos between my main computer and my recording PC and my editing computers, that's what I was trying to go with, main computer, I guess that's what I call my recording rig. Tangent. Caffeine. Yep. Transferring data, videos, and all that rot between those computers is going to be much easier. And actually, the empty case over there, that drive has been put into a USB 3.0 enclosure, which I sadly didn't thrift, so I won't be showing you. But that's going to be what plugs into this guy right here, giving me nearly full speed access to the drive, so I could actually record to my cloud drive if I wanted to, but generally I'm just going to be transferring data back and forth between one computer and that, so that I don't have to have all of my computers on to transfer data between them. Yay. And one more thing to go with this, though it wasn't from the same place, it does have to do with my editing computers. I have this nifty little jog wheel, USB dial, and for those of you wondering what a jog wheel is, it's basically a piece of hardware, looks just like this, that you use with your editing software, and you use the dial to get much finer control. Sadly, Griffin has decided not to continue support with this for Windows 7, so I'm going to have to just look around for drivers. 1 second, cat pawing at my leg. Come here. Up you go. Bloop. There he is. He's in the chair now. Happy boy. As I was saying, this has full Mac support to this day, but the support for Windows stopped at around XP. There are ways to get the drivers to work on Windows 7 64-bit, so I've got to do that. It doesn't like my laptop, but I think it's because I had installed it as hardware before installing the drivers. So I'm not going to make that mistake on my actual editing computer. This guy still retails for $35. I paid $1. They didn't know what it was, so that's why I like the fact that I pick up shiny things all the time. Oh, and the router still retails for $90 to $100. Originally was $200 when it first came out. I bought it for $9, and I forgot to mention that it was still in shrink wrap when I found it. Huzzah! And those drives, I forget what they retail for, but more than $3? That's all I can really say. Now, on to the non-tech stuff. Now, my girlfriend and I have been in a bit of a board game thrifting slump. Not really finding stuff. And the other day we were lamenting that fact and saying, why can't we find weird little Eurogames or Avalon Hill? Because honestly, we had a time where we couldn't go anywhere without finding games by Avalon Hill, though they mostly end up in our trade and sell pile because they're war games and those really aren't our bag. Or, we were getting to the point where we were willing to take even games that we already owned to put in our trade pile so that we can, in the future, sell them or trade them for more games. Yeah, guess what happened to stop immediately after that? First off, we got Taiga, a well-rated little Euro game. We haven't had a chance to break it out yet. And for those of you wondering what I mean by Euro games, they're ones that are not... what's the best way to put it? Well, generally they're from Europe. Not always, though. Not always. But they're not direct competition. No fighting involved in cat. There's a cat now. He has decided table is where he wants to be. But they're generally more strategy than they are competition. I'm doing a horrible job explaining it, but let's just say Eurogames are a great genre and you should check them out. And something tells me somebody in the comments down below is going to do a much better job explaining what a Eurogame is. And heck, I might even put a definition in the description if I remember. Yeah, Taiga. We paid $2, and I just realized this is a square box and therefore my nemesis. I like it when my box back lines up with the top, but I'm going to just set that aside and not let my eye twitch too hard from it. Oh no, camera bump. You might have seen the Windex. Forbid. Now, remember how I was talking about Avalon Hill? Yep. Same stop where we found Taiga, which was literally the stop after we made that lamentation. We found Sword and Skull. Now, this one was $4 versus the $2 I average at Goodwill. But it looks fun. This looks like our type of Avalon Hill. This one's actually not going to be entering our trade and sell pile. We do need to do a full count up, but it seems complete enough. And the good news is I know where to find parts if it's not complete. Let's just slide that. Here we go. Telestrations. Not really our bag, but this is one that we own. Therefore, this one's going into our trade and sell pile, which is good for us because now we paid $2 for this. On average, Goodwills don't like to charge less than $7 for this, sometimes up to $12. So yeah, I'm glad I grabbed it. And like I said, this is not really our bag. It is a party game. We don't tend to do party games that often, though we do end up at places where people want us to bring party games, so maybe we should play them more. This is in the top 10 party games on Board Game Geek, ranking at number 8. It is a 7.48 out of 10. Trust me, that is actually a really good rating. Very few games get over 8 to 9. This is in the top 200 games on Board Game Geek, period. So for $2, I think I did well, and something tells me it's going to find a good home in the near future. Let's just move this one out of the way for the last of the we already own this thrifts for board games. Hey, it's Munchkin again. Remember how I said we enjoy thrifting Munchkin to hopefully find expansions in them? Sadly, there are no expansions in this one. But there's a good reason. Let's just get my hand around the camera this time without bumping it. The person opened it, beat the box up a little bit, but never cracked the shrink on the cards. What's with you people? And a friendship potion. This is a 17th printing, so it's not super new, but it's also not super old. This was actually before the dice had the Munchkin logo on them, so you just get a simple D6 and no box insert. I love the box inserts. Now, I've got one more item to show you today, and I'm going to say, without a doubt, this is one of the weirdest items I've ever thrifted. And it is the weirdest item that I've thrifted to keep versus give to my girlfriend's mom because she likes the weird stuff we find. A Titanic pendant that is also an ocarina. I thrifted a Titanic ocarina. I paid $2 for this Titanic ocarina. And I do believe it is either out of tune or in a pitch that I am not familiar with, or at least familiar with playing. Because A, I have no ear for music, and B, I don't have a tuner. But I paid $2 for this for one reason and one reason only. My cats love the sound of an ocarina. They like high-pitched noises, and I bet your cats do too. Try just playing an ocarina song from YouTube for them. You don't have to play any specific games songs, but try playing an ocarina tune for them, and some cats don't care. Most, or not most, but my cats go crazy. They will start rubbing their face on the computer and purring up a storm. I'm going to just blow into it, covering all 4 holes. I don't know what the proper fingering is for determining the pitch. And let's see if I can get this cat right here to respond, even though he's not the biggest ocarina fan. I apologize to headphone users. I'm going to try reducing the audio a little bit. Aw, he ran away. My other cat hops in my lap every time. Oh, okay, he's actually outside the door right now, trying to find where the noise is coming from because of the way it echoes. He was actually heading toward where I usually sit when I play this. Audacity really doesn't like it either. That's my car alarm impression. But I think I'm going to just put the ocarina down. So that's what I had to show you this week. I've been building up another nice sized selection. So look forward to that next week. And I think we're coming out of our slump. If this stack of games right here shows us anything, and honestly, I do have a few more that I found since I planned this episode. So expect some more next week. But yeah, things are starting to shape up. The slump is ending. If this camera, these games, this microphone, all of it shows me anything, the slump is almost over, which means, sadly, another best of episode is not coming yet. I will get to that best of dumpster diving shortly, though. Let me know in the comments if you'd rather me do the best of dumpster diving next week, or if you want to see the thrift haul. If I don't get enough responses, it's going to be the thrift haul. Cat's still trying to get in my lap. So until next time, this is your guy Cly, signing off.